Good afternoon, everyone. I'm homesick today, so I wanted to at least give you a little bit of quick instruction on how to do what it is that I would like you to get done today. So let's just jump in and look at a couple of these problems together. We won't do all of them, but we'll do, maybe A and B just to get you started, and then you're going to try to do C and D together, and then check your answers with the answer key that will be posted on Classroom. Okay, so let's jump in and talk about A. We need to solve this equation for y. But in order to do so, we have to be able to eliminate any parentheses that are in the problem. So the very first thing you're going to want to do before, trying to move things around and solve this equation is to distribute. And if you remember, our distribution takes whatever that number is that's outside of the parentheses, it's multiplying, and it multiplies by each of the things inside the parentheses. So if you remember, we're going to do 2 times y, and then plus 2 times negative 2. And then simplify. So 2 times y is just 2y, and then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Now I can write plus negative 4 if I want, or I could just write 2y minus 4. Either one's fine. And then at this point, that's when you're going to use your equation solving strategies to actually solve this equation. So we would add 4 to both sides. And then divide both sides by 2. And what you get is y is equal to negative 1. All right, so that one wasn't too bad. We just had to distribute the 2 that was in front of the parentheses first. Let's try this one. So the big difference here is that we have 2 sets of parentheses. And what we'll do is we'll use our generic rectangles to help us actually multiply this out. So we spent a lot of time in the last unit working through those generic rectangles. So I'm going to go ahead and draw myself a generic rectangle. A terrible generic rectangle. And then label the sides, just like we did last unit. So we'll label one of our sides with the x minus 1. And we'll label the other side with the 5x plus 6. And you guys were doing really well with this, so I believe you're going to be successful here. Find each of your areas. 5x times negative 1 is negative 5x. X times 6 is 6x. And then 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. So what we want to do is use the area as a sum. So 5x squared plus 6x minus 5x minus 6. And then I'm going to just simplify that a little bit. So 5x squared plus 1x minus 6. So that whole thing is going to go in place of the area as a product. And then what we have is this equation that we should be able to solve for x. Now I know for some of you it's a little worrisome that we have this 5x squared showing up in our problem. So let's try to subtract that from both sides and see what happens. So 5x squared minus 5x squared is going to give us 0. So we're left with 43 equals 1x minus 6. And then that's pretty easy to solve. We just add 6 to both sides. And we get x equals 49. Okay, so your job is going to be to try to work through the next 2 problems using the same strategies. You'll have to use your generic rectangle here. And you'll have to use just regular old distribution here. I'll post an answer key onto Google Classroom, so when you're finished, you can check your answers. Okay, be good for the sub, get this done, and then begin working on your homework for the night.